It's Friday. Happy Friday, Sault Ste. Marie. I'm Colette Linden.
And I'm Danny Dupuy. Welcome to the special report.
We've got a few things on the show today. We are going to talk about our campaign, #In This Together SSM, and what that means for the community. We're going to talk about the senior citizens, our grandparents, our parents, those special people in our lives who are on their own right now at the senior home. And we're going to talk about some new talents. And
yes,
we've got an awesome craft corner over there. I don't know if you can see that right now, that we're going to try and get to. But right now, we are going to Mr. COVID Man. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Colette. Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie. Well, what we've seen over the past 24 hours is there's been a massive lockdown of the population across the planet. Just 2 days ago, 20% of the population was in some sort of lockdown, quarantine, stay in your home order. Just in the last 24 hours, that number has now jumped up to 25% of the total population on the planet. Here in Algoma, we have our numbers from yesterday. They have not released them yet for today. But as of yesterday, we had approximately 224 tests that had been done, 1 positive case. We had 105 negative cases, but we are now starting to see the backlog of the labs at the Ontario level, where we are waiting for the results of 118 tests that we do not know yet what the answer is to them. The provincial government needs to get their testing up to 5,000 a day. Presently, it's only around 2,700. Now, in Ontario, we have 837 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 13 deaths so far. Back to you, Danny.
Thank you, Chris. So what we're also going to talk a little bit about today is our new hashtag, In This Together SSM. So later on today, I will be going down to North 82 to talk to the ladies there. So what North 82 has recently done is they were closed for a little bit when all of this was going on. I'm pretty sure, I believe they were just trying to figure out their game plan for how to handle this.
Yeah.
They just opened, I think it was 2 days ago. So we're going to go in, just talk to them a little bit, see what their game plan is, and, you know, hopefully try out a nice lunch too over there.
Really. It's great that they're on board and opening up to the community right now. Like we said yesterday, there are quite a few businesses that are open. We are doing this campaign together. So what does that mean? In This Together SSM, we are just trying to bring in and make the community aware of who's open and where you can go. So we will be doing interviews. We've got Joyce from Primerica coming on next week as well to talk about some financial matters right now, and maybe even talk to your kids. Take this time to talk to your kids about this is how you save your pennies. Well, I guess not pennies anymore, right?
Yeah.
They're in pennies.
That's a great idea.
I know.
I know. I wasn't good with numbers when I was a kid, so if someone could introduce it now, go for it.
Yeah, be awesome, right? We've got Feeding Your Soul. We've got quite a few interviews next week, so we're looking forward to that. Yeah. But we want to start today off with the Finnish Home.
The Ontario Finnish Trust Home.
Awesome. And Danny used to work there, and I know it means a lot to her as well. Now we're gonna begin with this video that you found on Facebook.
The marketing agent, Haiti Shell, phenomenal woman. She put together this little video with one of the PSWs, and get your tissue box ready.
Holy cow, we were a mess in the newsroom this morning.
yes, it's a very heartfelt video, and stay tuned for that.
Great. So why don't we start with that video, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about what this means for the older people in our life.
Hi, I'm Michelle Blackburn. I work at the Ontario Finnish Trust Home, and I'm part of the BSO team here. Actually, I think sometimes just when we're ourselves, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of being silly. The other day before breakfast, I turned some music on, some old rock and roll, and we were dancing and singing, and some of the residents were doing air guitar with me, just, you know, trying to keep it silly and normal. They seem to really like to laugh and joke. The only thing really that's changed is, unfortunately, they don't get to see their loved ones as often. So one of the things I did for that is I went around and asked residents if I could take their picture, and I emailed the family members with a little message, the picture of their loved ones, because in these hard times, that's the hardest part. Trying to keep it normal for the residents, and they participate the same in everything. The activities are a little bit different. The girls have had to be very creative with, you know, the social isolation, but they've been very good at participating in anything the big girls come up with.
And do they enjoy it?
They are very happy, smiling, laughing. Now I've got a bunch of printed Easter eggs that the residents and I are coloring together. We're posting them all over the windows on the outside so that the young kids in the community can go around and find our Easter eggs. They have an Easter egg hunt I gather on Facebook, and we're going to be one of the locations. And the residents were really excited to do this for the kids and have been doing a great job at it. I think mostly they wanted them to know that they're okay, they're happy, they miss them, they love them dearly. I've had a few residents come up to me a few times and say, "Did you send my picture to my family yet? Did you send my picture?" They worry about them, so they just want to know that they're okay as well. We miss you. Your family's being very well taken care of. We miss you. We love you. The families miss you. Oh, I can't even.
Well, we did warn you. Have your tissues, right?
Michelle gets me every time. I've worked so closely with her in the past little bit, and she puts her heart and soul into everything she does. And
Right.
thank you. My grandma's there right now, and
Yeah.
we can't thank you enough for what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it just brings it to the forefront that there are so many people who are affected by this, and maybe your loved one who's in a rest home, they don't understand what's going on. And that's heartbreaking for them too. I'm sure that they miss hugs. I'm a big believer in a hug and the power of a hug. So let's social distance hug. Social distance high five.
We're learning. We got a few things going on here too.
But yes, it's good to know that your loved ones are being taken care of during this time as well. We do need to cut to a break, and when we come back, we will be going back to our superhero COVID man, who's also sporting some amazing Donald Trump socks today.
Yes,
so hopefully we
they
get a
are.
shot of those, and we will be right back after this.
A message from the Government of Canada.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail. Half-price taps after 9 p.m. A nice cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be. Priced the way it used to.
Hello and welcome back. So as you can see, Colette and I are a little busy. We got some crafts going on.
Oh, do we ever?
So right now I have, with our toilet paper crisis, why not make a toilet paper bunny? Get 3 rolls of toilet paper, staple them or tape them all together, and what you do, get your paint, start pressing them down, and this is our
you made a cute little
aftermath.
face.
So we have our little toilet paper bunny.
So now we have to go to our little bunny and I just did a picture of Mr. COVID man.
We're headed there right now. Some updates, Chris.
Hi, thank you. Just actually over the break, I got an alert on my phone. Now the first major world leader to be test positive for COVID-19 is the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. It's just come through here. He's confirmed on his Twitter account that yes, he does have COVID-19. He said he's now self-isolating, but I will continue to lead the government's response via video conference as we fight this virus. He has been chairing a daily coronavirus update meeting with all of the upper ministers of the British government. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, if any of them have developed COVID-19 as well. I'm sure they will all be tested now, and we'll have more information on that over the next few days. However, yesterday here in Ontario, Doug Ford held a press conference with Christine Elliott and Rod Phillips, both who's the Minister of Health and the Minister of Finance. And basically, Ontario has now really upped their spending on COVID-19. They've now announced $3.3 billion in spending, up from $300 million just a few days ago. Now, what that is there is $2.1 billion to go directly to COVID-19 and an additional $1.2 billion into the healthcare system to help with the extra capacity that is needed. Rod Phillips, the Minister of Finance, announced the following things. We're going to be spending an additional $935 million on hospitals. $594 million goes directly to working on expanding the capacity from COVID-19, with an additional $341 million to prepare 1,000 more acute beds and 500 more critical care beds in case there is a surge of cases across Ontario of COVID-19. Also in that, they included $243 million for long-term care homes. They're going to be now screening 24/7 of anyone that goes in and out of any of our long-term care homes in Ontario. And they've established a $1 billion contingency fund, which allows them to put the money where they need to, if they need to, in certain areas. If we see a surge in one sort of part of the healthcare system, they can then allocate up part of that $1 billion into that. And now it's back to Colette.
Thanks, Chris. That was a great update. Crazy news about the British
Yeah.
Prime. So we are coming near the end of our show, sadly, but we will be back at 1 o'clock today. We just wanted to remind you that we did add that in yesterday with all the new stuff coming out, and Chris has a ton of information to share. We just want to stay as informed with the community as possible. We didn't get a chance to talk about local talents.
No.
And what you want to just quickly talk about the Addison and Emma Burns?
Yeah, so I got a video sent to me the other day of Addison and Emma Burns, local to Sault Ste. Marie, and they are teaching themselves how to play guitar and sing. Self-taught. Emma hasn't played piano since she was 6, and all of a sudden they're singing, playing guitar. I could never do that. I've wanted to.
Oh no, but I'm pretty sure I could teach myself how to sing because I've always wanted to be a rock star, and I don't know. Yeah, so I think I might do that this weekend. But until that happens, we're gonna have to say goodbye. We'll see you at 1 o'clock today. Thank you so much. Have a great morning.
Have a great morning.
See you, everyone.